Hello, welcome back to Bilingual Finance Fridays. Todos los viernes son para las finanzas. Thank you so much for coming back and joining us for a special segment today. We may actually have a very special guest with us, Adam Kol. He is a expert financial coach, financial counselor for partners, couples, married couples, and coupled up partners. So stay with us. I will be bringing on our in-house expert financial coach, Diana Gamino. We're also live streaming on Instagram at realestate.diana if you want to catch us there. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. Bilingual Finance Fridays is a trauma-informed, culturally relevant live simulstream. We're here as nonprofit experts. We've both Diana and I come from nonprofit organization. I now have my own small business. Diana continues on her work in the nonprofit sector with the nonprofit in Oakland. And so this is totally a labor of love. So if you're joining us, thank you. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel and all the goodness that's out there. All right, here we go. Bring it on, Diana.
Bienvenidos a Viernes son para las finanzas. Estoy esperando a Adam, so hopefully he tunes in. So estamos esperando a Adam. Ahora vamos a hablar de las parejas y la comunicación con sus finanzas. So today we're gonna talk about finances and communication among couples about finances, which is a very good and sensitive topic.
Here we go. I am momentarily joining you. Hopefully our financial expert on partners and money joins us today. For the moment, however, how about we reintroduce ourselves, Diana? It's been a long time. I want to say that we've done like about 20 episodes already, or even more of Bilingual Finance Fridays. It's absolutely incredible. What that means is Diana and I have been taking time to come in live for these very important discussions for our community. And Diana, this would not be possible without you, our in-house financial coach expert, our ethical real estate agent who is helping communities of color be able to purchase their first home in a matter where they're super informed, super prepared. That is you. And thank you, Diana. Big shout out to you.
Thank you. And just like Cristina introduced me, I'm Diana. I'm a financial coach and a real estate agent as well. And that's really my passion, just helping others, be able to purchase their home, and not only that, but work on any other financial goals that they have. Cristina, introduce yourself too.
That's right. Thank you so much. So my name is Cristina Trujillo. I have a background in community economic development. And within my background, that's where I met Diana. I was actually teaching practitioners financial education programs and how to be able to initiate them, develop them within their own organization. And Diana was just really stood out to me as a financial coach and a program manager within her nonprofit. And so now we're here doing this labor of love using the power of simulstreaming to literally be able to reach more homes, reach more families and individuals, because we truly are providing information that is valuable and vital for all of us, for every hardworking family. This is what we need. We need to talk about money. We need to demystify talking about money within our households, right? Within our with our loved ones. It's time for us to just be, feel good about just talking about money, even when we have to face those struggles. And so today is a very important day. I'm going to quickly say this because I see Adam who's joining us. So we have Adam Kol. Again, he is an expert financial coach. He's going to be having this wonderful conversation with Diana. I'm going to let Diana take the wheel. I'm gonna bounce out of here so her and Adam can just have a fluid, good conversation about money and couple communication around money. So Diana, it's all you now. Go ahead and translate. Welcome, Adam. I'm gonna bounce right out of here. Thanks
Okay,
again.
thank you. And Adam requests to be in the show, so I can go ahead and add you.
Great.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, how are you?
So Adam is getting ready on the other platform, so I'm gonna go ahead and introduce everything in Spanish. So estamos haciendo Viernes son para las finanzas. A Cristina ya se introdució. Nuevamente, yo conocí a Cristina cuando estábamos trabajando juntas en un proyecto. Nuevamente, ella ha estado bien envuelta en la comunidad y nuevamente yo soy consejera financiera y agente de bienes raíces. En este show de hoy vamos a hablar de la comunicación entre parejas. Traje a otro experto, consejero financiero, para que ustedes miren también la perspectiva de otro, especialmente la perspectiva de él como hombre. So vamos a hablar de las diferentes roles de la comunicación y al mismo tiempo de tal vez preguntarle a él como hombre, ¿verdad? Y como nosotros como mujeres, la diferencia entre a veces cómo nos comunicamos cuando se trata del dinero, del tema del dinero, ¿ok? So I went ahead, let me say that in Spanish. So Adam también es su consejero financiero, al igual que yo, pero él se especializa en la comunicación entre parejas para que vivan más en paz. Entonces, vamos a hablar, yo le voy a hacer preguntas a él y y tener pues un experto con otro experto, ¿verdad? Para poder entender su perspectiva. Yes. So since Thanksgiving is approaching, I think it will be great to kind of mention 3 things that we're thankful for. So we're going to start with you since you're the guest.
Okay. Well, you can hear me, right?
Yes, pretty good.
Okay. Well, one thing is I am in the apartment of my lovely girlfriend who actually speaks English and Spanish and Portuguese. So she could give us a third language if we want. And she takes very good care of me. So that's one thing. The second thing is we got a pizza from Pizza Hut that had it. So they started carrying the plant-based meat, the Beyond Meat stuff. And we're both vegan. So that was really nice. So I am grateful for the vegan pizza. And of course, I'm grateful for my nephew who will be 11 months old next week.
Oh, nice. That's so great. I'm just craving pizza now that you mentioned it. So let me go ahead and translate that part and then I'll go ahead and do mine.
Oh, by the way, do you want me to take more breaks in middle of speaking so you can translate?
No.
Okay.
No, it's perfect. I'm going to ask you the questions and then you go ahead and do it. I'm pretty good at catching the points, so
Awesome.
So we should be fine. So le estaba preguntando a Adam, como ya va a ser Thanksgiving, entonces como 3 cosas para el ejercicio de la ancla, de algo que de 3 cosas que él está agradecido. So está agradecido de su novia. So es de su novia y dice que habla 3 idiomas, ¿ok? Y que trajeron pizza vegana, es vegano él, y por su sobrinito. So for me, I'm thankful for my health. I think just kind of hearing all these COVID-19 cases, I'm more conscious of, knowing that I'm healthy. So I think for family health and definitely, just being able to have our jobs. There's so many people that have lost their jobs and being able to work from home and kind of being grateful that we have it good right now. So so it's just I'm more aware of it. I think I'm more conscious and aware of it. So just really extra thankful, right, this Thanksgiving. So le estaba diciendo a Adam de 3 cosas que estoy agradecido ahorita que ya va a ser Día de Dar Gracias. Es por mi familia, mi salud y por tener trabajo, ¿verdad? Que mucha gente ha perdido sus trabajos. Entonces es estar extra agradecida por esa parte. Okay. So, Adam, let's get to the point. So today we're gonna talk about couples and especially couple communication, which I think could be challenging with certain couples. So I really wanted to like really kind of pick up your brain here. I was kind of playing different scenarios. What about if this happened, right? So one of the biggest things, right? I think when is the right time to talk about money with, let's say, even with a boyfriend, right? Because sometimes you wanna get to know someone, but then a lot of women say, I don't wanna sound like a gold digger, right? Like I just wanna put it out there. So
Yeah.
like how do you
Yeah.
even like bring that up? Like what are you gonna do like first date? You know, how does your credit score looks, right? We can't really say that. So you as a man, especially as a man, like, when is the right time to start talking about this conversation?
Yeah. Well, you'll be able to tell that I'm a former lawyer, right? Because I'm going to give a very lawyer answer. It depends.
Okay.
Right? My rule of thumb is that you want to talk about your finances in a way that is like equal to how your financial choices are affecting each other. So if you're just dating, right, and you see each other once a week and maybe one person pays, you don't necessarily need to know too much about each other's finances. But if we're starting to go on trips together, right, and that we could go to Paris in a 5-star hotel or, camping in the Everglades in our own tent, that's going to be an impact on my budget and my partner's budget, especially if we split it, right? So at that point, you don't have to know everything, but you can at least say, what's your vacation budget, right? Then if you're moving in together or getting engaged at that point, it's definitely a good idea to start being more open. And definitely once you're engaged or wanting to merge finances, of course, at that point, you should be having these conversations. But I think there's 2 other things to add. But do you want to translate that first?
Yes, I'll go ahead and translate it. So yo le estaba preguntando a Adam, ¿cuándo es la mejor manera como, o cuando para hablar con tu pareja de las finanzas, especialmente como al principio, tal vez cuando están hablando o como decimos dating, no quiere, a veces como mujer o especialmente hablando del género femenino, de decir, pues cómo le voy a preguntar cómo están sus finanzas, ¿verdad? No quiero que se mire como una manera mal, pero quiero saber, cómo está él en ese aspecto. Una de las cosas que dice Adam, dice, bueno, pues como todo poco a poquito, ¿verdad? En cierto, por ejemplo, si van a ir a comer y están haciendo, o sea, cosas que en sí no son gastos grandes, tal vez de esa manera es una manera donde no se ocupa saber toda la información de la otra pareja. Más cuando ya está avanzando la relación, especialmente si están viajando juntos, haciendo gastos grandes, entonces es cuando se puede tocar este tema. Entonces, es decir, mediante la relación va madurando, es importante empezar a conocer en sí las finanzas de la otra persona. Okay. I already did on that.
Okay, nicely done. I would say that there's 2 other things to consider. One is that you can pay attention to the person's habits while you're dating and notice how they are with their money, right? You can start to observe and pick up hints. That's one thing. And the second thing is, of course, it depends on what kind of relationship you're looking for. If you're not looking for anything serious, then, and maybe you're very young, you don't want to be married for many, a number of years yet, then you can be more patient, right? But if you're somebody who is looking to get married really soon, then you might want to ask earlier, right? Because if how they handle money is important to you, and it should be, right? Because it's such an important thing in all of our lives, and it affects marriages so powerfully, right? Because unfortunately, it's one of the top causes of divorce. So yeah, get to know that early, right? And I mean, this is for me, like I've been married and divorced before. It was terrible. It's one of the reasons that I got into working on relationships, right? And so it's like, I'm looking now for a real partner, right? So I'm not going to like wait a year until I understand how you think about something important like money. Just like I'm not going to wait a year to find out if you want to have kids, because I want to have kids. And if you don't, no good.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing with money. To me, it's such an important topic, just like the others. So again, the closer you are, like where you want to get married sooner or make that kind of commitment sooner, start a family sooner, then I think it pays off to ask early.
Great. So let me translate that.
Yeah.
Let me try to translate that. Ahorita que le estaba preguntando a Adam acerca de las finanzas, pues él una cosa que dice también, tenemos que, cuando estamos como en una relación, tenemos también que poner atención a los hábitos de nuestra pareja para mirar en sí cómo ellos gastan su dinero, ¿verdad? Y no tener miedo a tener esa comunicación donde nosotros les preguntamos. Entonces, no solamente mirar los hábitos de las personas, de la persona que estamos, con la que estamos, pero también saber qué es lo que nosotros estamos buscando en la pareja. Nuevamente, el tema de dinero es grande, pero no, también no lo es todo. Él está diciendo, tenemos que mirar en sí qué es lo que estoy buscando. Estoy buscando una relación seria, porque si es serio, obviamente, sus hábitos de esa persona nos van a afectar. O si nada más están conociendo a la persona, pero en sí no tienen otros planes. Pero definitivamente, como él dijo, si estás pensando en una relación seria, donde matrimonio, cosas así, donde se van a enlazar sus finanzas, entonces tenemos que decir lo que nosotros estamos buscando en la relación, y al mismo tiempo preguntarle qué es lo que la persona espera de esta relación. Entonces tenemos que venir en sí sabiendo qué es lo que queremos, ¿verdad? Como él dijo, yo he estado casado antes y me he divorciado, y pues no es algo fácil, ¿verdad? En sí, pero dice, ahora sé lo que estoy buscando. Si quiero hijos, dejarles saber. O sea, no estar esperando que el tiempo pase si ya sabemos lo que nosotros estamos buscando en la otra persona. Okay, so that was a great answer. Thank you so much, Adam. So I have another one.
Yes.
For me, especially as a financial coach, I feel like I always tend, when I'm coaching a couple, I always tend to get like someone that, the spender and the saver. There's someone that wants to spend and the other one wants to save, and they don't agree on one point. And then you kind of become like the therapist, slash coach, slash everything else, right? So how, and someone is really is really their point of view. I believe that we have to save X amount, and then the person believes that, they should be more relaxed and they should spend a little bit more. And I always hear this motto, like, life is short, just enjoy yourself. They have all these other things that they go ahead and kind of use to say, why they should save, and the other one why they should spend. So you kind of really trying to kind of bring things together. So when we have someone that just really kind of wants to just save aggressively, and someone that just wants to spend, in the other end, what do you recommend for a couple that tends to kind of have, these two point of views differently, or view the situation differently, different perspectives?
It's a great question, Diana. And it's about understanding where they're coming from, and sharing where you're coming from is so key, right? Why do you think that it's important to save? Why do you think it's important to make sure you enjoy your money now? For you, how do you think about spending now versus saving for later, right? People, just like you said, they have different perspectives, different points of view, different preferences. And the key is to start by understanding each other. Once you understand what each other really wants and why, then you can come up with a solution that actually fits for both people. For example, with some clients who are like what you said, I've had them say, okay, first, we're going to prioritize an emergency fund with a certain amount of money in it, so that the person who's the saver feels good. And then once we have that, then we'll go on some more vacations and move a little bit towards the spender, right? A way to balance for both parties, because your money is a tool. And as long as you two are communicating about your values, you can use that as a tool to take as good a care of you as possible. And of course, this is more challenging when you have less money or more debt. It's easier when you have more money and less debt, of course, with that caveat, right? But it's about coming together, listening to and appreciating each other, that the spender, keeps you grounded, and the saver keeps you grounded, and the spender makes sure you have a good time and enjoy life, right? They have good sides to them too.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and just to clarify, we're not saying either one is better. We just kind of wanted to really, just see that they both bring value to the relationship. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and translate that part. So le estaba yo preguntando a Adam, porque en sí como consejera financiera o cuando yo estoy haciendo consejería para los clientes, usualmente es muy común que en una pareja que estás haciendo consejería hay una persona que ahorra o quiere ahorrar lo más que pueda y una que le gusta gastar y o sea, tienen en sí una perspectiva diferente. Entonces yo le pregunto a Adam como como experto cómo piensa él que es la solución para ayudar a esa pareja. Entonces él dice que la primera cosa que él hace en su práctica o cuando está haciendo consejería es escuchar a los dos, que uno entienda la perspectiva del otro, que en sí entienda por qué la otra persona quiere ahorrar. Y para el que gasta y el que porque quiere gastar y el otro de que quiere ahorrar porque quiere ahorrar tienen un punto de vista y una perspectiva con una razón. So tenemos que escucharlos. Entonces lo que Adam hace les dice, ok, pues sabes que vamos a ahorrar para que la persona que ahorra se sienta seguro, porque ellos lo que buscan muchas veces en el ahorro es tener esa seguridad, ¿verdad? El ahorro de emergencia. Y la persona que gasta quiere como más como disfrutar la vida. Entonces, si hacemos el ahorro y tenemos ese plan, la persona que es más ahorrativa se va a sentir más cómoda en poder hacer esos viajes, no va a tener esa preocupación de cómo van a pagar a ciertas cosas o que no tienen un ahorro. Entonces, así se satisface las dos partes, la persona que ahorra y la persona que es más gastador. Y como estaba diciendo Adam, los dos añaden valor, o sea, no se balancean, ¿verdad? Una persona que ahorra y una persona que gasta. Entonces, el que ahorra le enseña a la otra persona cómo ahorrar y el que le gusta un poquito gastar más y divertirse, le enseña ese valor de la experiencia a la persona. Entonces, ninguno es mejor que el otro. Es algo que queremos clarificar. Es bonito porque hay un balance en la pareja. Okay, now Adam, what about a couple that do not agree on the goals? And most importantly, they're not really supporting each other's financial goals, because I mean, at the end of the day, our goals, especially if they're aligned with our values, that's what we're looking for, right? In life. So, but what if your partner doesn't support them? What can we do about it?
Yeah. Well, look, just like with the spender and saver, this is normal to have, because no two people are the same, right? Mm-hmm. And so you're going to have different goals, different priorities, different preferences. You might be similar, mm-hmm. but you're never going to be the same. So one always spends more or spends on this thing more. The other, and that's cool, right? You want to marry someone or be with someone who's interesting, not just the same as you. Now, with the goals, what I do with my couples is I have them write down their individual goals and mm-hmm. write down their shared goals, right? So maybe, you all right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I want to be able to take a dream trip to Belgium to tour the breweries there, right? And that's like $10,000, but that's not something my partner is interested in. Maybe she wants whatever, her own vacation for $10,000. And then I say, okay, but we also both want a house, right? So we can save towards all three at the same time. We don't have to have all the same goals. We're still two different people, right? So the important part is that you understand and validate each other's goals, right? And I recommend to pick your main goal as a couple and then your main individual goals, and just start working towards those. And you can figure out over time what's should we work on this one first or this one first? Or what if one is bigger than the other? But there's no conflict when you have certain goals that are different, as long as you have the same key values as far as, do you want to have kids, right? Where do you want to live? Your other political values, right? As long as those things are aligned, it's okay if you have some different money goals.
Preguntando a Adam, cómo él hace su consejería cuando la pareja tiene totalmente metas diferentes, que en sí no son las mismas. Por ejemplo, él dice, ok, tal vez una persona quiere ir a un viaje a un país totalmente diferente que la otra. ¿Cómo hacerle para apoyar esas metas? Él lo que hace como consejero es, le dice a las parejas que escriban sus metas que quieren para ellos, sus metas que tienen en común, y así lo que hacen, pueden trabajar en estas metas al mismo tiempo. Entonces, para todas mis parejas, recuerden de sentarse con su pareja, porque a veces tenemos todo en la mente, pero como qué es lo que la otra persona piensa o cuál meta, pero tal vez en sí no tienen las metas diferentes y tenemos que escuchar a la otra persona, porque como dijo Adam, lo más importante también es tener sus valores en sí en común, es lo más importante. No tenemos que tener todas las metas iguales porque somos personas totalmente diferentes, o sea, es lo que nos hace únicos. Lo importante es apoyarse y escuchar por qué las otras personas tienen sus metas. Entonces, no descartar a la otra persona, es escucharlas o tener nuestras metas en común y tal vez unas metas que no son en común, y está bien. Tú trabajas en tu meta, yo trabajo en mi meta y también trabajamos en nuestra meta que es común. Entonces es importante de escuchar las metas de cada quien, y es importante saber que no tienen que ser igual. Okay, perfect. So another one, this one, everybody has an opinion on this one. I think we all. What about, when is the right time, or is it even right to have joint accounts, to put all the money together?
Yes, great question. The first thing I'll say is that don't judge yourself, and it doesn't mean your relationship is bad no matter what you have, right? For some people, they may have experienced trauma or financial abuse in a past relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So even if they love you, they're not ready yet for joint accounts, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, if you are in that stage of your relationship where maybe you're living together, you're thinking about getting married or that level of commitment, there may be some benefit to joining your accounts. It may help you feel like you're teammates, like you're working in the same side of things. It can be a little more efficient because you don't have to send each other a Venmo or a check for every bill, right? You're paying out of one account. And it can create the opportunities that help you grow closer as a couple. Even the, conflicts when wait, why did you spend so much of our money on this, right? That's a good opportunity for you to grow as a couple. So if you're ready for that deeper commitment and you feel safe, then go for it. But if you are not ready, check in with yourself, right? And if it's just because you're avoiding the topic with your partner, that's one thing. Make sure you talk to them. But if you two have open communication and you're still not ready, that's okay too, right? You can take a small step. Maybe you buy something together, right? Like you buy a used car together, or maybe you move in together. Like you take smaller financial steps and get used to the idea of being together financially, and then over time you see where it takes you.
Okay, so then do you think that there's a right or wrong answer? Like if someone just agrees that they just never want to have the joint accounts, will you say that's okay, or so it depends on the person? If they just say they don't want to ever have it,
if it's coming from a place of healthy self-awareness and healthy communication, and their partner also gets why, so that there's not resentment about it, right?
Mm-hmm,
then
mm-hmm.
That's fine. I mean, the most common thing I see is some joint money for joint expenses, and then
Mm-hmm.
couples have a little bit of money on their own in like personal accounts for personal expenses. but you can do really whatever fits as long as everybody feels good about it.
Perfect. So let me translate that one. I feel like people really like this question. So le estaba preguntando a Adam, él como consejero, cuando él, ¿cómo él ve tener las cuentas juntas o las cuentas separadas? ¿Cuál es la mejor o si hay una respuesta correcta o incorrecta a esta parte? Él dice que en sí, tenemos que mirar de dónde viene esa parte. Tal vez si no queremos tener una cuenta junta, solamente asegurarnos que viene de un lugar en nosotros que es saludable, que no es, porque a veces muchas personas vienen a veces de relaciones donde fueron abusados financieramente, donde entonces puede ser de un trauma, donde, bueno, sabes que si yo añado a esa persona, tal vez no tenga acceso o pase algo con la cuenta. Entonces tenemos que asegurarnos que no viene de una parte de nosotros donde es de inseguridad. Tenemos que chequear de dónde viene esto, porque no quiero compartir con mi pareja, tener una cuenta juntos. Entonces, en sí, si no viene de esa parte donde es por algo negativo, donde no hay confianza, entonces está bien si se comunicaron con su pareja y decidieron los dos. Es importante, entonces eso es importante, los dos, que vamos a tener esas cuentas separadas. Está bien, porque no queremos que venga de un punto donde hay resentimiento, de donde viene de un lugar donde no es sano. Entonces, es la comunicación. Y él dijo, bueno, si viene de un lugar donde tal vez es por cosas que nos han pasado, donde nos sentimos seguros, él dice, poco a poquito, siempre no quieren sentirse forzados a tener estas cuentas juntos hasta que ustedes tengan esa conciencia y se sientan a gusto que están listos para hacerlo, más que nada. Entonces, tenemos que estar también muy atentos de dónde viene eso, si no lo queremos hacer, y que no venga de un lugar donde no es saludable para nosotros, ¿ok? Thank you. That was I really like the answer. I feel like everybody has like an opinion on it, but I think when it comes, it's just so funny because I hear this, especially this conversation among people who are getting ready to get married. Like, should I do it or not? I feel like it's always like they feel like there has to be an answer to like a yes or a no. But it's like you said, it depends, right? So, le estaba diciendo a Adam que, o sea, a veces muchas personas, especialmente cuando se van a casar, dicen, oh, tendríamos que tener una cuenta juntos, sí o no, como que si hay una respuesta correcta, pero como miramos con Adam, no hay un sí definitivo o un no. Todo es tener la comunicación, pero mirar que nuevamente que si la decisión es sí o la decisión es no, viene de un lugar saludable de nosotros, que no es por ningún trauma u otras cosas que en sí puede ser como algo que miremos como negativo. ¿Ok?
Yeah, my job is to help
ahead.
the couples decide for themselves what's best.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Y Adam dice que su trabajo como consejero es entender que la pareja en sí tome la decisión correcta que es para ellos. Entonces, va a ser tal vez diferente dependiendo de la pareja. So, this is another really good one. So what if your client, let's say you have two clients, but it seems like one of them, especially if, I don't know if you sometimes see, even if it's a couple, sometimes you might see one of the clients by themselves if they don't want to take the coaching together.
Mm-hmm.
But what if one of the client, or the client's partner is not really disclosing where their money is going? They don't want to talk about it. You deal with your money, I deal with my money. I don't want to disclose it. What kind of approach do you take with a client who really, their partner is not willing to disclose that, or they really, because they feel like it's something, let's say, like, if they, they might see it as you're trying to control me or something negative. What would you recommend for a client like that? Yeah,
well, if they're not willing to talk to me as the financial coach, that's their choice. But if they're not willing to talk to their partner, right, then of course that is an issue. And I think it's important for the partner who wants to talk about this to take a strong stand. Look, we need to be able to talk about money. Money is one of the top causes of divorce. And if we do it right, we can have a better life and a better relationship. So we should talk about this. When's a good time? Let's talk about it. Let's get the conversation going, right? Now, if you're afraid that they're going to control you, again, that's probably a symptom of something else going on, right? And we should really look at that, right? Does this person have a history of being abused or controlled? Why are their fears showing up? Are they projecting old fears onto a new partner, or is there a real chance here, right? Usually, as far as for my clients, they're not going to come to me and pay me to become a client unless both people are on board. And I'm not going to see them unless both people are on board, right? Like there's been times because I know my work is not just about helping you save money. My work is about helping you strengthen your marriage and get the clarity and communication around your finances that you want. So I only work with both parties.
Okay. Because I've seen situations where, the client will only disclose if the other couple is not there, and then like the coach is kind of like, is not feeling that environment. That is a very sticky situation.
Of course. And, as a coach, you can always just ask questions and try and understand the situation better before you suggest an option. Because there could be a lot of different reasons why.
Okay, definitely. So le pregunté a Adam, ¿qué es lo que él hace o recomienda si una de las parejas no quiere decir a dónde se está yendo su dinero? Siente como que si lo dice es una manera de que la otra pareja lo está controlando. Y él dice que una de las maneras tenemos que ser acertados, o sea, firmes cuando vamos a hablar de este tema y dejarle saber a nuestra pareja. Ese tema para mí es importante, especialmente porque es la causa casi número 1 de divorcios. Entonces no es algo que tenemos que tomar ligeramente. Tenemos que hacer afirmativos en lo que queremos y dejarles saber. Entonces, como él dijo, si la persona no está dispuesta, no quiere cooperar, usualmente hay otra causa, algo debajo de esto. Tal vez vienen de traumas que han tenido cuando eran más joven o niños. Hay otra causa más que en sí el dinero. Entonces es importante mirar esto, y tal vez hasta es una oportunidad de tomar terapia en pareja, porque es algo ya no tanto del consejero, sí es algo más profundo de lo que es lo experto de un consejero. Okay. So when do you think is the right time, and how often should couples have the money talk?
Well, you're asking about like couples who are already.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So already kind of ready. Like how often should they have like a meeting? Like,
Yes.
What would you recommend?
So I would say in the beginning, I recommend once a week. While you start to get used to talking about money, while you figure out what's going on with your finances, what's coming in, what's going out, what debts do you owe, what assets, like items of value do you have. So in the beginning, I would say meeting weekly until you understand each other's points of view and your finances. And then it's up to your preference. If you are really good at staying on your spending plan and on your prosperity plan, then maybe you could do once every 2 weeks or even once a month if you feel really comfortable, right? But if sometimes you lose track of your spending, then maybe every week is best, right? Until you regulate that, just so that you can catch, we were trying to spend $500 on such and such this month, and it's 1 week and we already spent $350. Okay, let's slow down on that, right? So that you can stay on track with your goals. Start with a week and see how that works for you. And as you get your feet under you, it could be less frequent or shorter meetings.
Okay. And what should they have like an agenda or specific things that they should talk about? Like, is there like, a clear goal they should try to have every week, or it should just be based on what they believe, they should add? Or is there something more specific, more formal they should be having?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the beginning, especially if you've had tension around money or fighting, I would say just pick one topic for each meeting to work through. Because if you pick like 3 or 4 really intense topics, it can just get overwhelming, right? But then once you are in a place where you're communicating about money and you're working together on a plan, right? The check-in becomes, what's our progress this month? How are we doing? Are we on track? Any places where we're not on track? And then, were there any concerns that you wanted to discuss, right? Oh, I spent money on this and I forgot to tell you. Or, oh, did you forget to tell me that you were going to buy that thing that you spent a lot of money on? Right? Either way, we can make sure we address any concerns or questions from either side. So in short, during that meeting, recapping how your finances have been going for the last week, 2 weeks, whatever it's been, and then also checking to clear the air if there's any concerns or questions on people's minds.
Should they have like a certain time, an hour? How long do you think this meeting should be if they starting at the beginning?
Boy, it depends. If you and your partner are like me, I like to talk a lot, right? So longer meetings is good. Make sure that you have enough time for both people to feel understood and heard. And make sure, if you're looking at numbers in the meeting, make sure you have enough time to really look at the numbers, which depending, right? It could be 10 minutes, it could be 30, it could be an hour. There's really no right answer. But, if you are like, where do I start? I'd say try 30 to 45 minutes in the beginning. That's enough to cover one topic. But like when you start getting beyond an hour, sometimes people get really emotionally exhausted from talking about it, right? So you have to manage that. But I think 30 to 45 minutes, if you're not sure where to start, is a good length.
Oh, perfect. So le estaba preguntando a Adam, para las parejas, ¿cuándo es la mejor tiempo para tener como la junta de hablar de dinero? O sea, si tienen que tener una junta entonces él dice que sí, que al principio es bueno comenzar ya cuando están en su plan, en su comunicación, empezar con tal vez una vez a la semana. Dice que tal vez para comenzar unos 30, 40 minutos. No quieren que se haga algo largo donde la gente pues ya se fatiga y hacerlo como aburrido, ¿verdad? Y especialmente tratar de que sea un tema a la vez, porque si empiezan a poner toda la lista de todo lo que quieren hacer y son temas intensos, pueden terminar muy cansados de esa junta y sentirse estresados después de la junta. Entonces no, una cosa a la vez. Y ya, y el tema usualmente que sea uno, no tantos temas como hemos dicho, para que sea claro y ya que se van acostumbrando, estar mirando y comunicándose cómo se está gastando, dónde se está yendo el dinero, para mirar que ese dinero sí se está gastando como más que nada como ustedes se han puesto de acuerdo. Entonces es importante que si se gastó en una cosa de más, se comuniquen uno al otro. And Adam, what is like the best way to take this approach so people don't feel attacked, right? Because I don't think that you want to come to your partner and say, hey, why did you spend on, you don't want it to sound confrontational, right? So what is the best way to kind of, especially if you got upset, let's say that you guys both agree that, X week you guys were going to spend less than, 200, 300, and the other person kind of didn't really follow that rule.
Well, the first thing is, if you're in that position, your partner didn't follow the rule. First, remember your humility. I'm sure there's been a time where you spent on something you wish you didn't, or more than you ought to have. Nobody's perfect, right? If you notice that there's resentment because this is happening regularly, then that's a really good signal that it's time to address a broader pattern, right? But if it's just a one-time thing, bring your understanding, bring your compassion, bring your forgiveness, and get curious, right? If you shame your partner, it's not going to go well. That's the kind of behavior that leads them to hide things from you. But if you bring compassion, curiosity, hey, I know that we agreed upon this, and I noticed this, like, can you share with me, like, what was going on for you, like what were you thinking, why did you make that choice, all of that. Like, it's, just ask from a compassionate place. Try not to ask from a judgmental place. Now, if you're really upset about it, you can say, I felt really anxious when I saw that purchase you made, because then I got like, I'm worried if we don't keep to our plan, we won't be able to go on that vacation in the winter. You can, if you want to take ownership of how you feel and why it matters, that's also great, right? But if you're just able to be like curious, like, hey, let me know, what was this? It may even be like, oh shoot, they overcharged me, right? My mom, like maybe 6 weeks ago, went to make a donation to the Joe Biden Victory Fund, and she donated $10, and then she looked at her credit card bill and they charged her $1,000. Right? If my dad said, "What are you, $1,000?" She said, I didn't know that I did $1,000, right? It was a mistake. He would have got all up in arms about for nothing, right? So you can always check in, be kind, just patient, understanding, and like I said, if it's a pattern, then address the pattern.
Address it, okay.
Yeah.
So yo le estaba preguntando a Adam, y si de repente pues ustedes ya hablaron, ya dijeron cómo van a hacer sus finanzas y la otra persona gastó, póngale, tenían una meta de no gastar menos de 200 o 300 en esa semana, y la persona se pasó de lo que ustedes ya habían hablado y ya habían estado de acuerdo. ¿Cómo hablar con la persona sin que se sienta confrontada o atacada? Entonces, él dice que tenemos que ser compasivos, o sea, todos somos seres humanos, o si es de una cosa que no es repetitiva, como un patrón, entonces nada más recordarles y que venga de un lado de compasión, ¿verdad? Porque todos en sí, pues, cometemos errores y estamos aprendiendo. Él dice que su mamá de accidente, donó una donación y en vez iba a ser $10 y fueron $1,000, y su papá, ¿qué pasó aquí? Entonces era un error. Entonces a veces puede que a veces nos cobran de más, y ha pasado en el banco, entonces es un error. Entonces, de verdad, mirar cómo pasó y comunicarse. Si es algo que es un patrón, entonces traerlo ya más como hablarlo, si es algo que está pasando continuamente. Pero si es algo de una vez o que pasó, pues todos en sí, a veces nos pasa que a veces compramos algo tal vez un poquito más caro, o de en sí de lo que habíamos dicho que íbamos a gastar. Entonces a todos nos pasa esa parte donde, ay, pues me gustó esto, y a veces no lo pensamos. Entonces venir de un lugar de compasión, porque todos pues en sí somos a seres humanos. I have another one for you, Adam. Do you see a difference between the way that, let's say, a woman communicates in general, her let's say, even money issues or other issues versus men? I feel like this is like gender roles. Is there something that maybe we can learn how to communicate, let's say, for the husband better, for the wife better, depending on their gender?
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, every person and every couple is unique, right? But in terms of trends that I see, it really has a lot to do with the messages and how we're socialized, like what we see in the media and around us. So most of us, at least for me, speaking as someone who grew up in the United States, I'm used to seeing movies, books, families where the husband is the main breadwinner and the wife is more likely to be at home with the kids than working, right? Now, even if we disagree with that, even if we think both parties should be able to work or stay home with the kids, no matter what, those themes influence us, right? So men can get particularly sensitive if they feel like they're not being the provider that they're supposed to be, even if they believe in gender equality, right? And there was a fascinating study of women who made more money than their male partners, and a lot of them were resentful, and they traced it back to that norm and the expectation that that the man will take care of her, right? So it affects the woman there even too. So, as far as communication styles, I don't think there's anything beyond the larger stereotypes as far as that, like, women are on average better at sharing their feelings. Men are on average a little less comfortable being vulnerable and, showing like sadness or fear or like helplessness. Right. But beyond that, it's very individual, with the caveat of those themes that we've learned as a society. A lot of the money ideas, a lot of the money norms are gendered, right? A man does this, a woman does that. And so again, those ideas seep into our brain. Sometimes, like, a woman, for example, might internalize that she's supposed to rely on a husband to take care of her, but she rejects that so much, she goes in the other direction, right? And wants to be really independent. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But it can just sometimes help you understand, maybe this was a response to seeing women in her life like reliant on their partners. And then when the man leaves town, right, when he skips town, the women were in a really difficult position. And that happens a lot, unfortunately. So then they learn to be independent, right? Or maybe they teach their daughters, hey, be really independent, right? Which can be a beautiful thing. And sometimes it can make challenges in a relationship if you're trying to build intimacy and the person really is trustworthy. Then if you stay distant, it can make tension, right? So yeah, I think that's all I got to say on that for now.
Okay. So let me translate that. So le estaba preguntando yo a Adam si él mira una diferencia entre la manera que los hombres se comunican aspecto de las finanzas y las mujeres, y en sí dice, pues sí, en muchas de las movies que él ha mirado, videos que él ha mirado, y nosotros también, tal vez como latinos, es algo que hemos mirado donde el hombre es la persona que en sí cuida a la mujer y es el proveedor, ¿verdad? Entonces, él está hablando de un estudio donde les preguntaron a hombres que ganaban menos que sus esposas o sus parejas, y descubrieron cómo se sentían, y descubrieron que muchos de los hombres que hicieron el estudio sentían resentimiento solo por la única cosa de que la mujer o su pareja, su esposa ganaba más que ellos. Entonces, ¿de dónde viene esto? Nuevamente de los roles que nos han dado a nosotras como mujeres muchas veces, donde nosotros somos las que nos cuidan a los esposos y ellos son los que trabajan, pero sí hemos visto muchas de esto ya ha cambiado. Entonces, pero él dijo que sí se mira la diferencia, donde el hombre todavía siente que tiene que cuidar a la mujer y siente que ese es su rol como hombre. So Cristina is saying, with only a few minutes remaining, does anyone have any questions for us? I know we kind of took the whole time. Any questions for Adam? Algunas preguntas para Adam o para mí, porque ya mero terminamos. Nos faltan 5 minutitos o se nos fue al tiempo. So, algunas preguntas, algo que quieran preguntar acerca de, aquí está Adam, que es experto en parejas, so cualquier pregunta que tengan. So Adam is here if you guys have any questions regarding, the communication with couples, anything. Cualquier pregunta que tengan, déjenos saber antes de que terminemos. Anything else, Adam, that how can people communicate with you? ¿Cómo se pueden comunicar contigo, Adam?
Yes. So on Instagram at Adam Kol Coaching, or my website is my name, adamkol.com. And you can be in touch with me there. You can download my free guide to starting the money conversation with your partner and join my mailing list for weekly content. If you already think that you want to explore working with me, of course, there are links on my website to set up a complimentary consultation, or really great referral partners for me are other couples therapists or financial coaches. So they can also feel free to reach out and, would love to talk about you and see how I might be part of the community supporting your clients and your folks. So yeah, I'm always around. And LinkedIn, same thing. Adam Kol is a great place to connect with me as well.
Thank you so much. So Adam dice que la manera que se pueden comunicar con él, pues aquí tiene su Instagram y lo voy a promover también un poquito más después de que terminemos. So I'll go ahead and promote it one more time after our show. También está en LinkedIn y también pues él pueden ir a su página y él pueden hacer una consulta con él. Él también entrena también a los consejeros o a nosotros también a consejeros para que entiendamos cómo más que nada comunicarnos en ayudar a parejas, ¿verdad? Porque el tema de comunicación, especialmente de finanzas, es un tema muy sensible. And Adam as well, he's able to train, financial coaches. He's just here, to support us and for us to really be able to understand how to, like he said, he's such their financial goals. So, como él dijo, vivir en paz y al mismo tiempo lograr sus metas financieras. So we might get kicked out in a little bit. Adam, thank you so much for your time.
Okay. My pleasure.
I think there's Cristina. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna and you guys, we're gonna have a couple of other I think next week we might not have a show because I think next week is already Thanksgiving, right? Mm-hmm. So no show next week. And we're gonna bring you guys other topics. Thank you so much, Adam. And again, you guys add Adam to your Instagram. He's great. He has great content. So añadan a Adam a su contenido y muchas gracias a todos. Que tengan un feliz fin de semana. So you guys all have a nice weekend. Adam, any final words?
Thank you for having me. Did you want me to come on StreamYard, Cristina, or
no?
Here
you are. You're still on StreamYard. We're all here right now.
Okay, I couldn't hear because I didn't have my headphones in, but it sounded like you said whatever you want. So I'll come back on there.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're totally on here now. Thank you all. Thank you so much. This is simulstream. This is what it is. Let's see this is all simulstreaming, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us.
I didn't exit.
Thank you so much, Adam.
Okay.
Yeah, here we are.
Oh, we're still live.
We're still live. I just wanted to jump right on here real quick and say thank you so much to Adam Kol, our guest speaker for today. This was such a fun, great conversation. That 1 hour just flew by. You guys have a great audience on Instagram that just stayed with y'all the whole entire time. Thank you so much. You guys were phenomenal. We have our expert financial coach with us, Diana Gamino, she's with us every single Friday. And today she was able to have this amazing conversation with Adam Kol. Thank you for making the time to both of you. This is such a labor of love. And I quickly just wanted just do a shameless plug right now for my ethical small business called REEM Media. We're currently holding a giveaway. So essentially, doing a simul stream is so important for to be able to reach a bigger audience. And our giveaway is for folks that are doing end of the year campaigns, #Giving Tuesday campaigns. So if y'all need to optimize your efforts to engage with your community, to reach a bigger audience, reach out to me through Instagram and DM your email address to enter to win a free hosted simul stream. So y'all can do what Diana and Adam did today for your community and for something so good as Diana and Adam talked about today. Any final words from our experts today?
Diana?
I'm just very grateful to you for so long, Adam. I'll keep telling Cristina I'm into the show. So finally we were able to bring you. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is our second time, Adam.
I know.
You were here the first time when we just started. You're the Bob.com, Adam.
Oh, thank you, Cristina. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're up to with this show, with your marketing agency, just as a human being, as a parent. I appreciate it all. And thank you for having me on here. I forgot to mention, I also have my own podcast as well with episodes that you see every Tuesday. It's called the Equal Partners Podcast, and I share about it on Instagram as well. But that's another cool way I like to have on a bunch of different guests, sometimes real couples talking about their challenges and triumphs with money, sometimes financial coaches who are experts or advisors, right? All different kinds of people to help you really thrive in your relationship and your money.
I love it. And where can people plug into the Equal Partners podcast?
Yeah, all the major libraries, Spotify, Libsyn, Apple, or on my website, adamkol.com/podcast would take you there too.
I love it. Let me showcase your website, adamkol.com. That's your website, right?
That's my website.
I'm going to show this here. I love it. It's so nice and simple, and it's short. This is you bring so much value to the community as well, Adam. We see you, we notice you. That's why Diana was very eager and happy to be able to introduce you and pick your brain. And Diana did a phenomenal job. I loved y'all conversation.
Real questions. Real questions.
Real questions.
Real questions couples have all the time.
I wouldn't know. But here, I'll show you my real quick before we end. This is my best friend here.
Oh, hi, baby.
He's so cute.
Oh, what a beautiful
everything
coach.
I need for when it comes to he gives me all the therapy that during this corona pandemic.
Oh
my goodness, yes.
Anyway, thank you so much, y'all.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Happy holidays. Adam, we wish you a very happy holiday. Happy holidays to everyone. And
thank you.
Of course, Diana, I appreciate you. When it comes to Thanksgiving, I want to say thank you again, Diana. Thank you again, Adam. And thank you for our viewers.
Thank you.
I hope people
subscribe
to our YouTube, follow us, support our labor of love.
Thank you, you guys. Take care and stay safe.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night.